Hank, you better win this. We're stone broke.
What makes you think I'm losing, Jesse?
Well, that's that.
Nobody's beaten Stacy since I bought this saloon. That's over 10 years ago.
There's always the first time. I'll take that bet money now.
Not so fast. Not so fast. I could have the sheriff lock you two up for disturbing the peace, but I'll make you a deal. Leave town and I won't press charges.
You better pay up, mister.
Why should I?
Well, for one thing, I beat your man fair and square, I did. For another thing, we need the money real bad. And for another thing, the man you're holding out on is Jesse James.
I heard that Jesse James was killed up at Northridge.
There are a lot of folks who think that the James boys were wiped out. Well, I'm Jesse, all right. And there's only one way to prove it. I'll take that bet money. No hard feelings. You see, we weren't all killed at Northridge. We've sure been on the run ever since, though. That makes a man hungry. Why, Hank and I haven't had anything to eat since, when was the last time we ate, Hank?
It's been one whole day, but seems more like a month.
Hank would have taken your man a lot easier if he'd had his full strength. Now, ain't that right, Hank?
Yep. How about that steak now?
Now, that's an idea. And we'll pay for it with your money.
And I say you had no right to call in Jesse James and his boys. This was our deal. My deal, if you come right down to it. This was that big killing you've always been telling me about. You know, the one you've never been able to come up with? And now you tell me we ought to split it with Jesse James.
If you weren't my brother, I'd really work you over.
Do you think we can pull this deal ourselves, the two of us have Pete out there? Well, at least you could have talked it over with me first.
I'm the leader of the Wild Bunch. I ain't talking nothing over with nobody. And if you don't like it, get out.
Just the same, my share is going to be 1/3. And you can cut up the rest between you and Jesse James any way you want to, but...
Your share is going to be exactly what I say it is. No more, no less. That's Pete's signal. You must be Jesse James.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Hank Tracy?
And you'd be Butch Curry, head man of the Wild Bunch.
That's right. Come on in, Jesse. This is Jesse James. This is my brother, Lonnie.
Lonnie?
Pete Ketchum, our lookout.
Pete? Hank Tracy. Yeah. Lonnie?
Hi.
Pete.
Hi.
Well, this is the bunch. We got hit at St. Joe, Liberty, and Little Blue. We lost 11 men in all.
I can't hardly believe the famous Wild Bunch is down to 3 men.
I don't think the James boys are doing much better. Frank James hiding out in Kentucky as a preacher. And I hear the real Jesse James was shot to death.
Everybody is trying to make me a corpse. Well, I don't like it. You trying to make me a liar?
No harm. No harm at all. It's just that there's a lot of four-flushers around here that's claiming to be Jesse James.
Now, we didn't come here for any trouble. We came here to do a little job with you boys. I'm sorry, Lonnie, but you've just backed yourself into a corner.
Take it easy, Jesse. He'll be all right when he sobers up. Now, to tell you the truth, Jesse, I figured you'd have more men. I didn't know that you were down to Hank and yourself. But I still think we got enough to pull this. And I think you'll agree that it's worth it when I tell you what it is. Have a seat. Now, on the way here, you pass through the Paseo del Norte. Do you know it?
Yeah, narrow cut about 30 miles out of Bisbee.
Well, we're going to take delivery of $100,000 there.
$100,000?
I thought you'd like the idea.
That's an awful lot of money. You sure?
Lonnie's sparking a girl that works at the bank. And when the bank gets fat to the tune of $100,000, they transfer it to Fort Buchanan. And later on, it's sent back east by the Army supply train. Right, Lonnie?
That's right. My word has always been good enough for the Wild Bunch, Mr. James.
No harm. No harm. That's an awful lot of money in one place at one time.
Jesse may have looked down many a gun barrel for a lot less than that. Eh, Jesse?
Right, Hank. Seems to me anybody shipping that much money through a narrow pass would figure that's the natural place for a holdup.
That's the way the bank figures it, too. And that's why they send their stagecoach on through the pass with passengers and no money as a decoy.
Decoy?
That's right. When the first stagecoach gets through, they signal a second stagecoach that's all is clear. That's the one we'll be waiting for, with the money and no passengers. Simple and sweet, ain't it? What's the matter? Don't you like it?
That's too simple. What's the hitch?
No hitch. The second coach has only a driver and a shotgun. We'll hit them so fast they won't know what happened. I'd still like it better if we had more men, but I think we got enough to do it. Are you game? Want to try it?
You know me, Jesse. Whatever you say.
What's the split?
Well, there's 5 of us. We'll split it. We'll split it 5 ways.
Well, I didn't ride 300 miles for my health. The deal.
Marshal, I tell you, I know that's Jesse James. I made sure of that. So you get Jesse, and I get the $10,000 reward, dead or alive.
How do I know you're not sending us right into a trap?
Well, I'm riding right there with him, ain't I? If I was lying to you, it'd be easy enough for you to pick me off. Besides, I'm going straight.
Well, I can't afford not to go along with you, but let me tell you one thing. If you want to collect that reward, you better make sure you stay out of the line of fire.
Marshal, I tell you, I'm going straight. Now, all you got to do is tell your men that I'm on your side. Well, I guess I better be getting back to the boys. They might start to miss me. We wouldn't want that to happen, would we, Marshal?